Jesper, Nissen, good to see you here.
Good to be here.
So we were just talking about Parasite SEO. You're obviously a bit of an expert at it, and you've got your own tool for this sort of stuff. What sort of things are you experimenting with right now?
Well, right now I am, and actually have been for many months, I'm experimenting a lot with the social media posts. The main thing is, of course, that last year, Meta, they changed their rules for their platforms. So Meta is the company behind Facebook, and they also own Instagram, of course. And then they have this platform, Threads. Many people don't know about Threads, but it's a small blogging platform, kind of like X, Twitter, that they're trying to grow. And last year they changed the indexing rules. So that means that you, whenever you post something on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on Threads, it can now actually appear in the Google search results. And people have been using that for the last year, especially with Facebook groups. So you have the Facebook pages, company page. You can make one branded page for Julian Goldie SEO, for example, but you can also make your own group, call it the Julian Goldie SEO group, something like that, whatever. Whenever you post inside of this group, if the group is public, it can index and then it can appear in the Google search. And so that's what I'm looking at these days, and I'm trying to see, because the topic of Parasite SEO and social media, especially LinkedIn, of course, YouTube and Facebook, it's not entirely a new topic. So I'm trying to see if I can find platforms that are not used. And I actually found one recently called Ghost. I don't know if you've heard of that platform. So called Ghost.io. So it's a paid platform. So it's a blogging platform that works like Substack and Medium. And of course, if you're doing SEO, Medium. So but Ghost.io is special because it has API. So I connected to my software Somi poster, and then we can blog inside of Somi poster and publish to Ghost, and they can actually rank within 2, 3, 4 minutes, something like that. That's crazy, the Ghost. Yeah,
2 to 3 minutes, and it connects via. This is one of the biggest problems I find with like social media is, and I get this question all the time, which is, how do you automate your social media posts? And I try not to do it because, if you're doing that on Reddit or you're doing that on some of these platforms, even Medium as well, they can ban you pretty quickly. I guess if it's paid like that with Ghost and its API, it's probably easier than most, right?
It is super easy. I think that, so I've been working on my platform, Somi Poster, that automates posting to all of these social media for 6 months, I think. And it has taken me, for LinkedIn alone, it has taken me 4 months to get approved for using the API to post to company pages. 4 months.
Wow.
So I think my guess is that LinkedIn, that Microsoft, they purchased LinkedIn, was it last year or the year before? So my guess is that LinkedIn and TikTok and all of these companies, they're making it super difficult for you to apply to use the API on purpose to prevent spammers from abusing it. So I had to, give my personal information, my company, and they vetted me personally, Microsoft LinkedIn, in order for me to get to use the API. But yeah, it's difficult. But we now have, I think it's 27 platforms, 28 platforms that all use API in Somi Poster. And when we're talking about Reddit and Medium, the thing is with Reddit and Medium, they no longer take applications for their API posting. And I totally understand that, because I wouldn't say people like me, because I don't do much affiliate SEO, but SEO guys that are doing affiliate SEO have been spamming Medium and Reddit for years and years. And so I think,
That's interesting. So then with your tool, feel free to share your screen if you want to show some stuff that you can do with it.
Yeah, let me just reduce my screen resolution.
I've seen Substack rank really well as well. Like Medium, Substack, they rank pretty.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because there are so many platforms that I can't remember the names of all of them. And you know what? I think that 4 or 5 years ago, I was a lot into the cloud links, the Amazon cloud and Microsoft cloud and Azure and the Google cloud pages. And the Amazon cloud pages, they can actually still rank, but it's kind of like I'm still doing, it's not Parasite SEO per se, but I'm still using my cloud links to power up my social media post actually. So the way that I handle Parasite SEO today is kind of like a layered approach. I'm actually posting to I think it's 8 or 10 social media first, and then in the second tier, I'm posting to Web 2 platforms like Ghost and Blogger and WordPress.com, Wix, and all of these guys. So they are kind of like a tier 2 backlinks to the social media post, if that makes sense. And then I'm using, or I can use the cloud links as a tier 3 to power everything up. But if I can share my screen, then I can show you.
Sounds good. And then just for anyone watching, like if you're not sure what Parasite SEO is, basically it's where, you can leverage the authority of a website, for example, like Reddit that's already trusted by Google, post content around relevant keywords for that topic. And you can do the same on YouTube or anything like that. And then you tend to rank faster than if you had like a brand new website with very little backlinks or very little authority. So if you look at what Jesper's doing here, he's doing that, but scaling it across multiple different platforms, right?
Yeah. So the thing is that actually last year I got my Facebook account suspended. So it wasn't, they have this AI moderation system, and I don't know what happened. Just one day I tried to log in, and then it was suspended. And it took me 6 weeks to get my Facebook account back. And then I just took the decision. Okay, I can't rely only on Facebook. I need to diversify. I need to be active on LinkedIn and X and Blue Sky and Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, because what happens someday if I just lose access to my Facebook? So that's just crazy. So that's one of the reasons that I built Somi Poster, because I needed it for myself to be easy to log in and post, because I know that you're also very active, but you also know that it's just time consuming to log into 17 different platforms, and then you're just not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's one of those where we just get our VAs and our team, but the more we automate it, the better it is. Also, just on that note about Facebook, like, I don't know if you've heard of Jonathan Mass. I saw he posted recently on Facebook. So he's still got his account, but they've locked him out of his Facebook group. And his Facebook group is like one of the biggest on Facebook for AI. It's like got 500,000 members.
Oh, wow.
And so like, even if you don't get your account taken down, sometimes you just get locked out of these groups, and you're totally left in the dark. And it's like you spent years building up that audience.
I think it's actually scary for me. So yeah, but okay. So let me show you. So this is Somi Poster, and here in the accounts connectivity, these are all the accounts that we have. I know it's overwhelming, but I decided in the beginning, I thought I was only going to add Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn pages and Instagram and so on, the most common accounts. But then I decided to try to investigate, what about, are there other platforms? And then that's when I found the Ghost and the Dev.2 and the Webflow and Shopify. And I didn't know that, but it turns out that Shopify, you can build a website on Shopify. We all know that Shopify is this web shop platform, but you can actually build a web shop and then add a blog to this Shopify site, and then get your own subdomain. Own subdomain account on subdomain website on Shopify using this Shopify blog. So what that means is that when you publish an article or a post, something like that, on the Shopify site, it gets indexed on the subdomain of the Shopify domain, which means it doesn't start from zero. And again, that means that you have a higher chance of ranking these Shopify pages. I didn't know that. I just discovered this last month. And same thing with these other guys here. So that's just also same thing with Webflow and Wix also. And I know that, of course, WordPress.com up here. But let me show you just an example. Let's see here that I have these channels here that I've connected. I call them Jesper, Nissen, SEO all. I want to post something. I still love SEO. I made a post a couple of days ago. I love SEO, and I think I got more than 100 likes on Facebook. I don't know why people love that.
I think I saw that post actually. Yeah. It popped up.
I know it's just random. I thought, well, let me just try something random, and I think I can show you here. Now can you see my screen still?
Yeah.
I got 58 comments and 215 likes, and this post gave me, let's see here.
You got paid 5 cents as well.
Yeah. I earned 5 cents. I
killing
got 15,000 views. Yeah, I'm killing it. So I still love SEO, and let's produce an AI image for this, and let me use my own branding. Let's see what it comes up with here. So the reason that I like to use images also when I'm posting, besides from the fact that, of course, okay, probably not the best. I mean, it's a good image, but probably not the most representative for me. But the reason that I like to use images when I post is that these images, when you overlay keywords on the images, they can rank in the image search. Okay, so let's just post this. So notice what happens now. Now I click interlink, and then I click post now. And now I can go over to my post and let's see here, review.
Wow.
And now it's posting. It already published to Google Business Profile, to X, to Pinterest. And let's just click refresh. And Blue Sky. And so these 5 guys. And up here, they're already done. So now it's making kind of like a tiered link building to these posts, because it's publishing to the social media platforms first, and then it's waiting for this to be done, and then it's collecting all of these URLs, and then it's posting to the Web2 platforms after. So let's just click refresh.
So you got indexing up there as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
You got an indexing option. How does that work? Is that Indexceptional or something like that, or what do you
No,
use
that's my own indexing service, actually. Prime Indexer.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's see here. Good. I'm clicking refresh. We can actually open. Let's take the X post. See what it looks like. Good. And this is what the post on X look like. So because I still love SEO. Of course, nobody is searching for this particular keyword, but I can actually show you something. Does Jesper is love SEO? Okay, so now I'm not getting the AI overview. I did that the other day, and let's see here. Yeah, so I'm ranking for I love SEO. It might be a little bit bad example, but that's actually the reason that I use this keyword overlay, because Google reads these images, and it reads the text on the images. And it might be a small ranking factor, but nevertheless, it is still a ranking factor for Google and also for AI overview. So let's see if it's done here. Yeah, so now it's done, and I can click index all. So what will happen now is that within a couple of minutes, all of these posts are indexed, and then they can rank. And I did that the other day for, what was it? Is it this one here? Next Level Parasite SEO.
I think it's a tool that a lot of people have been asking me for recently, but I've not seen anything like this. This is the first time I've really seen a tool that can actually do this across everywhere,
Yeah, so I did this the other day. I posted I made a post called Next Level Parasite SEO, ranking opportunities for social media posts. And then I sent it in Ghost, and then in Somi post, and then I indexed all of these posts. So if I search now for Next Level Parasite SEO, I have my X post here, I have my Ghost post, yeah. So, and then I have my Facebook post. So, and this is actually when you're posting like this is actually the perfect investigation to see if a keyword is competitive. Because if a keyword is not competitive, you will get 1, 2, or 3, or 4 page 1 rankings. So you can actually also use this to check if is it possible for me to rank on my website for a particular keyword, because you can make a post on Facebook and LinkedIn, send it to the indexer. If they appear on page 1, for 100% sure your website can also rank for this keyword.
So you can use it as a testing tool. Like, okay, let's create some content for this. If it works,
yeah,
let's create more content.
It becomes kind of like a investigation tool. I have this ranking opportunities. It's not done yet, but I can check now. Do you have a keyword we can check?
Like top AEO experts.
Top AEO experts. Yeah, top AEO experts. Let's check this one. So what this application does is that it will now find first keywords that are long tail keywords that are related to top AEO experts. And then in the next step, I will then ask it to go and search for these keywords. And then it's going to look, then it's looking for social media posts. It's easier if I just show you once it's done. Sure. Because it's kind of like, let's select all and click find and see what it does. So you can see here, AEO services, AEO consultants, semantic SEO services, featured snippet optimization, AEO agencies, best AEO agency, and so on and so forth. And what's cool about this is that when you see a LinkedIn post ranking, here you can see number 2 for the keyword AEO consultants. You know that if someone else already posted on LinkedIn and is ranking number 2, then I can also post, because now I have Somi post, or I can just do it manually. And if a LinkedIn post can rank number 2 for AEO consultant, I know that my website can also rank. So it's kind of like a double whammy. So you can see actually what I'm thinking when I'm looking at this I'm thinking that this is actually a very good example of a keyword that's actually wide open, because you can see here that my seed keyword was top is AEO experts, right? That's my seed keyword. But all of these keywords here, hire AEO expert, AEO consultant, best AEO agency, they have various social media posts ranking on page 1. And I can see that it's Reddit and LinkedIn and then LinkedIn posts. So the thing with Reddit is that we know that Reddit has a special role in Google's algorithm these days. So a couple of years ago, Google kind of like took the decision, okay, let's promote user-generated content because we want to combat spam. And what's better than spam? Well, it's user-generated content by humans. And that's why they promoted Reddit and LinkedIn posts also and Facebook posts. That's why they're doing this. But that also means that now I can do it. I can write an article. I can make a Reddit thread, or I can make a LinkedIn post about AEO consulting. So I think that's also what I'm using these days. These tools for to kind of like investigate what are my ranking opportunities. What do I need to post about in order to get traffic?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think there's two really good things there. Number one, it's quite easy to investigate. Okay, what keywords are wide open here? And then number two is to find more keyword ideas, right? Like there's so many good keyword ideas on that list that you could go for as well.
Yeah, I mean, most of us have access to keyword tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush or similar keyword tools, and that's also fine. I think that this is the combination of taking a keyword and then finding proof that a social media post is already ranking. That means that, well, I can also rank because I have a LinkedIn profile, so I can also just publish. And this becomes even better if you already have some sort of following. So I think I have close to 20,000 followers on Facebook, and I have 5,000 on LinkedIn and more than 5,000 on X. So whenever I post something that's slightly interesting, I will get some sort of interaction. And I think that it was at SEMrush that last month they did a study on ranking potentials for social media posts when taking interactions into account. And what they found in their study is that the more followers you have, or if you have at least 1,500 to 2,000 followers, your post can rank easier on social media.
So it's almost like follower is almost like the new domain rating for Parasite SEO. It's like the more followers you have, just like the more backlinks from relevant authority sources, the more likely you are to rank.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. I didn't think of it that way, but yes, that's a very good comparison. Because also for me personally, my Facebook page here, let's see here, I have these 19, almost 20,000 followers. It's hard to fake that, and it's also hard to fake the interactions that I get on my post. 14 comments and 6 shares. It's very, very difficult to fake. So that's also why when I'm posting about anything that's related to a keyword I want to rank for, they tend to rank high because of this interaction. And something that I do sometimes is that I make a post, I target a keyword that I want to go for, but I don't send it to the indexer. And then I wait until I get 15, 20 comments or something like that. And then I send it to the indexer, because then I know that it will rank higher.
That's a great tip.
That's something that you can do, but you can actually also do something else that's slightly more strategic, is that you can post something, get 15 to 20 comments, and then you can go in and then you can change the post like this. Oops.
Wow. I didn't think about doing that.
And then click the like this. Now it says Parasite SEO, and then you can send it to the indexer, because it will still have the comments, it will still have the shares, and it will still have the likes. And we know that Google is actually measuring this; they're looking at this. So that's another thing that I do sometimes.
Yeah, that's smart. I also noticed that when you're posting on social, you force bold the first line with Unibold, right? Unicode.
Yeah, it's something we do with Unicode, and so the way that I do that is I go into Somi poster. And I do like this. This is in bold or text. And then I mark this to be bold. And what I like about this is that when you go into the SERP and search for example, next level Parasite SEO, you can actually see down here that it is in bold. And I also sometimes see that X also, it also shows it here.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be good for CTR as well. No?
It will be good for CTR. So I really like this. And it's not something, it is in Unicode, as you say. I can see that you also do that in your Facebook or YouTube community post and also in your Facebook post. And I like it because it's CTR and it just stands a little bit out because not many people actually know how to do this. But yeah, and we do it using the API, of course. So yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Some good stuff there. What about with Facebook groups? So would like a new Facebook group rank, or do you need to like get some engagement in there? How does that normally work?
Well, when it comes to Facebook groups, one thing that's a little bit annoying for me when it comes to Somi poster and automating is that I haven't really found a way to automate posting to Facebook groups. Not yet. It's not really something that Meta is offering. Let's just open this group that I have here. But the good thing about posting to Facebook group is that when you write an article or write a post in here in the Facebook group, you can actually format and put H1, H2 and bold and italic and numbered and unnumbered bullet point lists, which makes it kind of like a tiny article editor. So it means that you can add some sort of rich HTML, which also means that it will actually rank higher. That's also why I see when I'm posting about Parasite SEO or related topics to this, when I post in my Facebook group compared to my Facebook page, the group post always wins. It always ranks higher. And for me, it doesn't really matter if I don't get much interaction in this group because I get more interaction on my Facebook page. Regardless the interaction, the group still ranks higher. I find that's interesting actually, that the groups, they have more ranking power actually.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The other thing I was thinking about all of this is that the more pages you rank on the first page for that particular keyword, the more you influence not just the organic listings, but also the AI overview, right? So if you've got like 5 pages saying Jesper Nissen is the top AEO expert, then Google's more likely to show you as the AEO expert in the overview, right?
Yeah. Who is, let's actually check here. Who is the leading AEO experts? I don't know. I didn't try to search for this anymore, but before, but Mustafa, don't know him, don't know her. I know this name and I know this name. For sure that one thing that's certain is that these people that are ranking up here, they are ranking because they published listicles. And I know that you've talked to your previous guests on this show about listicles, and I know that you know everything there is to know almost about listicles. And this is just one of these things that publishing listicles just gets you mentioned in AI overview. And this is still how it works. And what's interesting is that for this particular keyword, who's the leading AEO expert, when we're looking at the citations over here on the right side, so these are all the websites that Google is choosing to cite. We have a LinkedIn post, and then we have some websites, and then we have a YouTube video. So we have two LinkedIn posts.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's your, yeah. Who's the leading? Yeah, who's the best AEO expert? Who's the best? Because I can see that you have that. So we have Medahan, Dan Petrovich, David Konechny, Mike King, Oliver, and Tomek. I don't know if you agree.
Try best, just the keyword best AEO expert, something like that.
Let's see here. I think this is because I'm searching from a Danish IP address.
Yeah.
Because apparently in Danish, AEO is covering authorized economic operator.
Oh wow! So our Reddit post is ranking right at the top.
I did not know that, but we have here best AEO experts.
That's
that you?
Yeah.
So this is actually interesting because you're ranking #1 with the Reddit post. We can search here for best Google indexing tool. So best Google indexing tool. I was in Lithuania a couple of months ago and I made a talk about Parasite SEO. So I had a couple of days of preparation before I did my talk, and I decided I wanted to try to rank for best Google indexing tool with my Prime Indexer. So what I did was I published a listicle on my schema writer sites. I published a post in my own subreddit. I published a listicle in my Danish agency site. And within 2 days, I actually got cited as the best indexing service, Prime Indexer, as it calls.
That's amazing.
And you can see here over in the right side with citation, it's citing my schema writer site. So it's citing my schema writer site as the citation over here, and my schema writer site is ranking #1 for this. So I have 1, 2, and 4. So this is I wouldn't call it Parasite SEO, but I would call it off-page SEO. So, and this is where it's interesting, because when you compare SEO to GEO or AEO or whatever you want to call it, influencing search results inside of the LLMs. The things that you need to do in order to influence search results in the LLMs is identical almost to standard off-page SEO with more details, but it is off-page SEO. What does that mean? It means publishing articles on other websites that's not your own website, and they will mention your service, and then they will link back to your website. So that's the old school off-page SEO. And in this case, I published on Schema Writer, my own subreddits, my Danish agency, and a couple of other websites I own. And it only took me a couple of days. And this is quite competitive keyword, actually, best Google indexing tool.
I was thinking that it's like all SEOs that you're competing with there. You know, like people all know what they're doing when it comes to SEO. And then the speed of it is just unbelievable. That you can rank in 2 days for that. It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think this is one of the most practical interviews I've ever had, you know, because like someone can watch this and literally just implement it tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. And what I noticed is with regards to listicles, because this listicle here is published on the Schema Writer website. And you will notice that I built the domain rating up to 49. So it's not a beginning domain. It's quite powerful now, the Schema Writer AI website. So, and it is also ranking #1 in Google. The thing is that this article is not getting cited in Claude. So when I go to ask Claude who is the best or what is the best Google indexing tool, Prime Indexer is being cited, but this article is not being cited. And when I asked Claude why, then Claude actually told me that this is because that I recommend only Prime Indexer. So Prime Indexer is the winner of this test, which makes sense because I wrote it. But the reason that this is not getting cited is because it's biased 100% to Prime Indexer. And actually Claude told me that you need to insert hedging in your listicles. And what that means is that you need to, the articles that are getting cited in Claude right now have, you know, best indexing tool, fastest indexing tool, cheapest indexing tool. So what that means is that they're covering more of these query fanouts. And that's from Claude. Claude said to me that because the other articles are citing or are covering more of these query fanouts, they have a higher chance of getting cited inside of Claude. So that's just interesting. And
Nice.
It's interesting because what that means is that you can actually do something that is good for SEO, which is having high domain authority, but that doesn't necessarily affect your visibility in the search engines in the LLMs. So that's just interesting to me.
It's the same on ChatGPT. I feel like the results are quite different on ChatGPT and quite often personalized to the person searching, way more so than Google AI reviews. I feel like out of all the AIs to rank in, Google is probably the easiest.
I think that's also why I like Parasite SEO, because Google is still, to this day, they're looking at the domain authority or domain rating. So that's one of the highest ranking factors still inside of Google. I don't know the domain authority of Index Machine. Let's just check this. They have 23. Let's check Indexceptional. They have 22. So I'm not saying it's because of the 49 that I'm ranking. I'm just saying that it does make a huge difference if you have a powerful, a strong domain.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for being on, Jesper, and sharing all your case studies and the examples. The tool looks good.
Yeah.
I need to test it out.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. And what's the best way for someone to get in touch?
They can just find me on X and Facebook, Jesper Nissen SEO.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.